In my collection, along with a handful of photos, is a wool US Army garrison cap. And given that the majority of my collection focuses on US Navy pieces, it is a departure. A departure in the obvious way of not being US Navy related, but also a departure in trying to pin down who it belonged to. I found this to be a relatively fruitless search on the individual owner, but a couple of photo postcards the owner and another gentleman added at least a little more depth to this item and the photos that accompanied it. As a personal aside, I always liked the lines of the garrison cap. From Elvis Presley in his to later depictions like the Band of Brothers, Lieutenant Spears, the caps always cut a fine line to my eye. So the cap in question belonged to a member of the US Army Air Force, who unfortunately signed his name at least 2 different ways, making his true identification less than certain. In one photo, our subject has climbed onto a moderately sized palm tree and signed the back of the photo, Me, period, Don Kaiser, spelling Kaiser Kiser. Another photo of the same individual, a photo postcard, lists his name as Staff Sergeant Bob Kiser, Kaiser, of NYC. We'll get back to this set of photo postcards in a few. The other photos in the set of the photo postcards show members of his unit sporting the CBI theater patch, standing for China, Burma, and India, which ties in with the very tourist photo postcards our subject and his friends took as well, in what appears to be English Army kit for the region. On a side note, I will link to a website put together by the son of a CBI soldier, which provides a great deal of insight into the China, Burma, and India theater and the soldiers who were stationed and fought there and their efforts. Along with a few photos of some form of base of operation, there is that photo postcard set with one postcard listing our initial subject's name, but also one Stanley Arthur Mohr. With Mr. Mohr, I could at least track down his registration card, listing his year of birth as 1923 and his place of residence at the age of 18 as Brookfield Township in Iowa. Sadly, this is about as far as I could go into delving into the history of these two men. Of Mr. Kaiser, I cannot find any further info. Of Mr. Mohr, I can add that he died on 11 December 2010 and is buried at the Tahoma National Cemetery in Washington State. If relatives of either men stumble across this video, I would be more than interested in learning about them and their service so that I could possibly add more to preserving their memory and their efforts in World War II. Thanks to who support these efforts, the channel, and its intermittent offerings on this sort of subject. Thank you.